Hip-hop beefs have always been a part of rap culture, but when 50 Cent decides to roast someone, he doesn't just throw jabs, he goes for the knockout punch. And this time, his target is none other than Jim Jones. The tension between these two New York rappers has been simmering for years, but things just got real when Jim Jones hinted at a versus battle against 50 Cent. What followed next? A brutal response from 50 that sent shockwaves across social media. Let's break it down. Did Jim Jones make a huge mistake by calling out 50? And why did 50 Cent hit him where it hurts the most? His biggest hit, Ballin. It all started when Jim Jones appeared on a podcast discussing his career, success, and dominance in the rap scene. At one point, the topic of a versus battle came up, an event where two artists go head-to-head, playing their biggest hits to see who truly has the stronger catalog. Jim Jones was confident, maybe a little too confident. He claimed that he has more solo hits than most New York rappers, and that it would be difficult for anyone to challenge him. And then, in what seemed like an indirect jab at 50 Cent, he said, "I got more solo records than most of them that really hit." Remember that in New York City, it's going to be hard for anybody. The moment he said that, the room got tense. Everyone knew who he was talking about. The hosts tried to play it off, but Jim Jones doubled down, adding that he had mentioned Fabulous first, but then also said 50 Cent's name. Now here's the thing, 50 Cent doesn't let things slide. Ever. If you take a shot at him, he's going to fire back with full force. And that's exactly what happened. After hearing Jim Jones's comments, 50 Cent wasted no time responding. He posted a clip of the interview on his social media and wrote a caption that sent the internet into a frenzy. Cent wrote, "Delusional Jew only got one song, Ballin', written by Max B. Better shut up before I have true life chasing you. Around the city again." Boom. 50 just took the gloves off. This wasn't just a casual diss. This was a direct attack on Jim Jones's credibility as an artist. And here's why it stung so much. 50 Cent outright claimed that Jim Jones's biggest hit, We Fly High, Ballin', wasn't even his own work. Instead, he credited it to Max B, an artist who had a well-documented falling out with Jim Jones years ago. He called Jim Jones delusional, implying that his versus challenge wasn't even worth considering. And to top it all off, he dragged, in true life, a rapper who had serious street beef with Jim Jones back in the day, basically reminding Jim of old wounds. This was 50 Cent doing what he does best, humiliating his opponents in the most public way possible. To understand why this diss hit Jim Jones so hard, we need to rewind back to the Jim Jones versus Max B saga, a story full of betrayal, street drama, and one of the biggest fallouts in rap history. For those who don't know, Max B was once Jim Jones' right-hand man. They worked closely together, and Max B played a major role in shaping the sound that made Jim Jones famous. But things fell apart when Max B accused Jim Jones of not paying him fairly for his contributions to Dipset's success. The feud got ugly and they started throwing shots at each other in interviews and diss tracks. Eventually, Max B was sentenced to 75 years in prison, later reduced, and their beef never got resolved. Now, here's where 50 Cent's insult cuts deep. By saying that Ballin' was actually written by Max B, he's implying that Jim Jones owes his entire career to someone he betrayed. After 50 Cent's post went viral, Jim Jones found himself in an awkward position. He could either fire back at 50 Cent, but that would be risky because, let's be honest, nobody wins against 50 in a public feud, stay silent, and hope the drama dies down. At first, Jim Jones tried to laugh it off, saying that he didn't care what 50 had to say, but fans weren't buying it. Social media exploded with memes and reactions, with many people taking 50 Cent's side. Jim Jones eventually responded in a more serious tone, saying, "Man, people always got something to say. I've been making hits my whole career, and if you think one song defines me, you don't know music." But let's be real, this wasn't the response people were expecting. He didn't deny 50 Cent's claim outright, nor did he throw any serious shade back. It almost felt like damage control. As expected, social media had a field day with this beef. Some fans thought 50 Cent went too far, while others believed Jim Jones walked into this L himself. Meanwhile, some people defended Jim Jones, saying that he's had a long and successful career beyond just Ballin'. But let's be honest, 50 Cent knew exactly what he was doing. He attacked Jim where it hurt the most. Will Jim Jones try to fire back at 50 Cent and keep the feud going? Or will he just let it slide, knowing that 50 is one of the most ruthless rap trolls in the game? And most importantly, will a versus Battle between these two ever happen? One thing's for sure, this drama is far from over. Stay tuned for part 2, where we'll dive deeper into Jim Jones's history, 50 Cent's trolling tactics, and how this feud could affect their legacies in hip-hop. If you thought 50 Cent's humiliation of Jim Jones ended with that viral Instagram post, think again. 50 is a master of the long game, and when he targets someone, he doesn't just throw one punch, he keeps coming until they tap out. After 50 Cent's brutal diss went viral, Jim Jones had no choice but to respond. But the question was, how? See, most rappers would have two options in this situation. Go after 50 Cent hard, dropping a diss track or calling him out in interviews. Try to downplay the situation and act like it's not a big deal. Jim Jones chose the second option, and that's exactly why he lost this battle. Instead of firing back with the same level of disrespect, he played defense. In an Instagram live session, he brushed off 50's comments saying, "Man, I ain't worried about none of that. We making money over here. They always try to play me, but real ones know what I do in this game." That sounds good on paper, but here's the problem. When 50 Cent calls you out, acting unbothered doesn't work. And the worst part? The Max B angle wasn't going away. Fans started digging up old interviews where Max B talked about how much he contributed to Jim Jones's music. Clips started circulating, making Jim look even worse. At this point, it was clear 50 Cent had won the first round of this beef. To understand why Jim Jones never stood a chance, we need to break down why 50 Cent is undefeated when it comes to rap beefs. Cent doesn't just respond, he goes for the kill. He doesn't care about being politically correct, and he'll say whatever is necessary to get under your skin. Think about it. J. Rule tried to ignore 50 Cent's trolling. Now Jaw's career is a joke. Rick Ross took shots at 50. 50 exposed his baby mama and destroyed his personal life. Young Buck crossed 50. 50 leaked their phone calls and embarrassed him publicly. Now Jim Jones tried to step up, and 50 did what he always does. He turned him into a meme. Another reason 50 Cent wins every beef is because he controls the story. The moment Jim Jones said his name in the Verzoos conversation, 50 flipped the script. Instead of talking about Verzoos, now everyone was talking about whether or not Jim really wrote his own hit. This is classic 50 Cent mind games. He turns his enemies' words against them and makes them defend themselves. Instead of attacking, let's be real, 50 Cent is one of the biggest names in hip-hop history. He's a global icon, a businessman, a TV producer, and a rap legend. Jim Jones? He's respected, but nowhere near the same level. When 50 speaks, the whole industry listens. When Jim Jones speaks, it's not making the same waves. This is why fighting back against 50 is a losing battle. Could this turn into a Verzoos battle? Now that this beef has taken over social media, fans are wondering, will Jim Jones and 50 Cent actually do a Verzoos battle? Would Jim even stand a chance in a Verzoos battle? Artists play their biggest songs, and the crowd decides who has the better catalog. If Jim Jones faced 50, he'd be in serious trouble. Let's be real. 50 Cent has no reason to do a Verzoos battle with Jim Jones. Why? Because it wouldn't even be close. When people ask 50 about Verzoos, he always says the same thing. I don't need it. My catalog speaks for itself. And he's right. 50 Cent's music is still played worldwide. Jim Jones? Not so much. At this point, the only way this Verzoos happens is if 50 Cent does it for fun, to embarrass Jim even more. Now that this beef has blown up, who takes the bigger hit? For Jim Jones, his biggest hit is now being questioned. Max B claim. Social media is roasting him. Cent's comments overshadowed his Verzoos challenge, and for 50 Cent, nothing to lose. Got another viral moment at Jim's expense. Reaffirmed that nobody should mess with him, it's clear. Jim Jones came out of this looking bad. He should have never mentioned Verzoos in the first place. This beef proves one thing. Never challenge 50 Cent unless you're ready for war. Jim Jones made the mistake of throwing his name in the Verzoos conversation, and 50 flipped the entire situation against him. Now, instead of people discussing Jim's catalog, they're debating whether or not Max B wrote his biggest hit. And that's why 50 Cent won this battle before it even started. If you enjoyed this breakdown of 50 Cent versus Jim Jones, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe for more exclusive hip-hop drama, beef analysis, and industry gossip. Who do you think won this battle? Drop your thoughts below. Stay tuned for more uncensored rap news.